Hey guys, Mal here, and today we're taking a look at R3A1 in GTFO. Now our mission is to get this weird space baby casket over to a charging station and then back to the extraction point. This can be a super chill and easy level if you do it right. Start clearing through the rooms. Initially it's not going to give you many options. Clear all the rooms and areas that you have access to. You're looking for two things. One being supplies in the orange lockers and boxes, the other being a terminal. The key to making this level easy is having information. You could just systematically clear every single room, but some will definitely cost you far more than you gain. Alternatively, you can figure out where to go so you aren't clearing unnecessary rooms. For anyone that is brand new to GTFO, these are sleepers. They can be sitting or standing and they are asleep. When they glow and make the clicking sound, they are sensing movement. So if you see one glowing nearby or hear the clicking, just chill out. You can still look around, you just can't stand or move. Make your way over to them while they're not glowing and then charge up a nice melee hit to take them out. You might be tempted to just shoot them, particularly if there aren't many in the room. Don't waste the ammo. It may seem like you're well stocked, but that can change so quickly from one room to the next. If you can stealth melee kill your way through every room, you should do it. Let's pause for a second right here. Now, as some of you may have noticed, I've done a no-no. In trying to get into position for a kill, I've accidentally bumped into a sleeper and woken it up. Now, it's important not to freak out or freeze up when this happens. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's bad. I really wish I didn't do that, but here we are. There are two ways to deal with this situation. One is to immediately fall back to the previous room. Any way that you know is safe and can line of sight the sleepers. That way they'll funnel into the room and your team can take them out in a less chaotic fashion. Just be careful of any crossfire. The melee weapons don't have friendly fire, however the guns do. So if you have to fall back, try to be conscious of what's past your target. Keep the lines of fire clear and safe. That's the safer of the two methods, however it can consume a lot of your resources. Now my personally preferred method is how I dealt with this situation. If you keep blocking their line of sight while you charge up your attack, you can dart in, take out a sleeper, and run off around a corner. That was a particularly tight area to have to deal with this. If you've got more room to deal with this scenario, I highly recommend sprinting and ducking left and right. The sleepers have a surprisingly difficult time hitting you while you're sprinting around. It can really help reduce the amount of hits you're taking in these kinds of encounters. Once you hit this area, you'll have multiple alarm doors to choose from. Head back here to the locked door and terminal. Go to the door so you know the key color and number. Then jump on a terminal and type query and then add the key you need. That's going to tell you what zone that key is in. Now head back to the room and check the doors. It should tell you in the upper left where it leads. Once you know which door you're going through, you can start to prepare for this. The gear that you chose initially and have found in this run dictate how this next part plays out. Alarm doors are assholes. Giant space door assholes. Starting one turns on an alarm which sends endless hordes at you until you disarm it. You do so by getting the whole team to the door for the initial scan. Once it completes, a white line will start running off. Follow it closely. That splits into 4 separate lines and each have a red circle on the end. Get in the red circle to help disarm it. Some doors only have 1 or 2 of these disarming waves to do for each door. Others down the track have 3 or 4. It's definitely worth learning this mechanic fast. Stay calm and focus on what you're doing. They are just going to keep coming until you get that alarm off. If you need to kite a group of them around while your team works on getting the spots, that's fine. Additionally, I mentioned the gear before. This is where that comes into play. If you have found a seafoam grenade or someone has a seafoam launcher, you can seal up doors leading to this area. Sealing a door with seafoam makes it way harder for a horde to beat through. If someone brought in a turret, you can stick it on the outside aiming at the door before you seafoam the door. That way as the horde tries to break through, the turret will tear them up and get rid of a bunch for you. If you have an excess of seafoam or an extra couple of seafoam grenades lying around, then you can reseal the door once they bust the initial layer of seafoam off. You've got to be quick though. So if you're planning on trying this to buy more time, then have someone dedicated to watching the door and adding more seafoam. After they're out, they can join the group in getting circles if needed. If you do happen to have a seafoam grenade to spare, consider holding on to it because it's going to be really handy soon. This alarm door isn't that bad. We threw a turret out there, sealed it up, and it worked nicely for us. Okay, so moving into the next room, we have something a little special and extra terrifying for you to deal with. You'll know when you're about to meet this new special friend very easily. there's this extremely uncomfortable slithering noise that it makes. It's quite possibly one of the worst sounds ever put in a video game. This is the Scout. He shambles around the place, stopping occasionally to let a bunch of tentacles out around the room. If you touch one of those tentacles, he wakes up. Don't waste your ammo on him, because he's invincible until he stops screaming. Instead, start taking out the sleepers in the room, because he's waking all of them up. He's also bringing a horde from the way you came, and any walkers in adjacent rooms. In other words, do everything you possibly can to avoid touching one of this thing's tentacles. It's just a lot of bad times if you do, and nobody wants that. So how do you deal with this thing? Well, for starters, if someone has a bio-tracker, they can tag it because it's moving. This applies to any monster once they're awake and moving around. It's particularly handy here because if you want to, you can try and stealth around the room, avoiding the encounter entirely. This is probably the best option for conserving resources. However, it's also the riskiest because one wrong move and you've got hell coming down on top of you. If you've got a seafoam grenade, you can seafoam it and then go in and melee kill it. If you haven't got a seafoam grenade, but you've got giant balls of steel, you can try and follow its tentacles in as it sucks them back. Then once you get to it, smack it in the head with a fully charged shot. Again, extremely risky, but can pay off if you've got someone that can pull that kind of stuff off under pressure. My preferred method is to find someone in your group that is a solid shot with a sniper rifle. Try and find line of sight from as far back in the previous rooms as possible. Get ready to take the shot while its tentacles are out, then as soon as it finishes sucking them back in, pop it in the head. If everything goes according to plan, the scout should be dead and nothing else should be angry. If you were too close when you took your shot, then some or all of the sleepers in the room will be angry, which is much easier to deal with than the extra rooms and horde from triggering the scout. Now here's the last of the surprises for this level, the big sleepers. They may pop up before now, but now's as good a time as any to cover them for the newcomers. They're bigger, meaner versions of the small sleepers. The super big ones are all about melee attacking you, and ones like this are going to shoot those annoying light orbs at you rapid fire. Now you're going to want everyone to give it a good full charge whack, and then another half charge. The first time actually doing it is a real butt clencher, but after that you'll be more comfortable with it, and it saves a bunch of ammo. If you come across any doors, lockers or boxes that have one of these locks on it, you can hold E to hack the lock. It's a little mini game. Click your mouse when it's in the orange 3 times. The orange gets smaller each time. If you mess it up, the lock emits a really annoying noise that, in addition to being annoying, also wakes up nearby sleepers. Either clear the room first or don't mess it up. Alternatively, if someone has found a lock melter, they can take it out with one. Important little note about the sleepers. If you do move a little while they're glowing, they freak out a little, but not enough to wake up, so long as you stop moving. You only have to worry about them when they go red, like that. Now, once again, I want to reiterate that it's important not to panic in these situations. I was right next to this sleeper, so I quickly got rid of him. Then I started sprinting and charging my next shot. I do swap to my sniper because I noticed the big sleepers at the back of the room. While melee killing is your best option for killing them, if they're awake, immediately go to guns. I particularly like the sniper because you can drop the big sleepers in 3 chest shots, saves a lot of ammo and keeps the fight a lot more calm. These runs can be stressful and long. Unless the game forces you to go fast, then you have no reason to. This is a slow and precise game. You can't Rambo it. You've got to work as a team and communicate well, or you will all die. Once you get to this room, you'll have another alarm door. This alarm door will be worse than the last one. For these alarm doors, you really want to buy as much time as you can. Ideal circumstances are you getting the door alarm off and being in position for the horde before they get in. Not gonna lie, that rarely ever actually occurs unless you've got a lot of seafoam to burn. Just do the best that you can and remember that getting the alarm off as fast as possible is crucial. You don't want to have to kill 2 hordes just to get through a single door. In our case, we went back and sealed up 3 doors with a turret on the outside to buy us as long as possible. Now I messed up here. You should never start an alarm door until your whole team are at the point. You want to buy as much time as you can for your team here, not give free time to the horde. Things get extremely hectic once the horde gets through to the room. Do the best that you can. If you've got time to res a teammate, it's always worth doing. Try and get the red security spots, but if you need to bail rather than get jumped by 5 sleepers, then obviously bail. You can kite them around and come back to it. The final room. The place you've spent quite a while working towards getting to. the place that you need to bring the baby casket for recharging. Now before you do anything crazy, put down the weird box and take a minute. Search the room for any lockers or boxes, heal everyone up, give out any ammo or tool refills, just really prepare yourself. See, once you charge the baby casket up, it's go time. As in GTFO kinda go time. Alarms will kick off and you've got to leg it back to the start of the level where you were dropped off. Not only that, but someone has to carry the baby casket the whole way there. Now that sucks for multiple reasons. The primary one being that they will move slower. The secondary one being that they can't shoot or help. The last one being that the alarms have summoned a bunch of hordes to come and eat your face. So once you charge it up, grab and go as fast as you can. Keep the guy carrying it safe. Sleepers will come from everywhere, even in front. You also have to hold the extraction point for a while, and it doesn't count unless the baby casket is within it. So if you've got any ammo left in turrets, then have those people ready to drop them facing away from the group once you get there. Do the best that you can. It'll be a bit messy, but if you're quick to get moving with it, then you shouldn't have too many sleepers reaching you by the time you extract. Congratulations, you just survived. This is a really solid level to introduce people to GTFO, the mechanics and the hardships. Bask in your glory now, because just around the corner in R3A2, there's a whole new hell waiting for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.